Hi, it's Steve with Coin Stuff I Like, bringing you another Ike Stuff I Like video. Um, Earlier this week, just a few days ago, I did this video, which is about a 1971 S proof Eisenhower dollar that had a quadruple die verse or triple die verse, depending on what part of the details you're looking at, the devices, and it matched up with these attributions. And in that video, in the comments, one of the viewers asked to do a video on quadruple die reverse, triple die reverse, if possible. So I was going, yeah, I've got a few of those. So let's go ahead and do a little show and tell. But first, I want to revisit sort of the background slides from that other video, just to get some context here. So thank you for your question, and let's get going and look at some of the reverses that have quadruple die, triple die reverses, and there's more of them, but I'll show a few of them. So again, for context and background, uh, all the coinage, U.S. coinage in the 70s was done this way. You had a master die, and from the master die, you created a number of working hubs, usually squeezed twice. And then from each working hub, you created a working die, again, usually squeezed twice, to transfer the devices and surfaces from the working hub to the working die. Now remember, working hub, everything is in relief, and the working die, everything is in incus, meaning the surfaces above all the devices are going down below the surface. And then, of course, when you produce a coin, then you have relief again. So this is the pattern, and because the double hubbing process, so to speak, you can have a master die that has nice, clean devices, and then you you manage to faithfully replicate that in a double hubbing to create a working hub, but somehow accidentally you might have faithful reproductions from working hub to working die, two squeezes, double hubbing process. So you get faithful reproduction, faithful reproduction, faithful reproduction, but one of them might have a little doubling because of offset, whether it's pivoted or shifted or um, disordered size because of the annealing process. The diameters may have been not exactly matching, but what have you, you end up with a true double die. A double die obverse or double die reverse, depending on which working die you're talking about. So that is how a double die, a true double die, is created. It's from the process of transferring working hub um, features to the working die with this hubbing process. In case of Ike's, two presses. Um, Now, these really those are they carry some distinction to it, and there's many uh, uh, attribution listings for working die, double die obverses, but and if you're collecting these, the ones with the larger spread are the ones to really collect. The ones with the little minor spread, there's a potential problem if you're collecting them. If you're collecting coins, you don't know whether it's a true working die or is it from upline source. So let's talk about this, and we're going to go back to that former slide. So let's say you have the same process, but let's say in creating one of the working hubs, again, two presses, you don't have a faithful reproduction at master die, and you get doubling at the working hub level. That means that doubling is going to be transferred to every die. Let's say this is the working hub that was doubled in the process of creating that working hub. Every die is going to have that very same doubling, or should have that. So and there's many dies, and each die, let's say it's a 71 business strike coin. That's 100,000 coins for each die. And if you have six working dies that were created from that working hub, you've got 600,000 with this doubling. That's not collectible. It's not valuable. So either you have a working die, double die that has a really large spread, which is unlikely that it's come from the working hub, and it has a very low population, very few known. Then you have something that's collectible that has just doubling. But in the Ike series, if you have upline doubling from the working hub and it's transferred like so, you can have quadrupling. You take that doubling and you do two presses, and let's say they're offset. Now you have potentially quadrupling or tripling. We're tripling one of the sets of doubles when it's offset is still overlapping a little bit. So tripling or quadrupling, there's no doubt that is a working die, double die adverse. I'm putting that in quotations, double die adverse or double die reverse, right? A true double die. But in this case, it shows up as quadrupling or tripling, and that is a upline working hub that was doubled. That's now at the working die level is showing up as tripling or quadrupling because of the offset in the two presses. All right, so if I'm collecting coins, Ike coins, I'm looking for tripling or doubling, or I'm looking for a really widespread doubling. Now, here, the first coin I'm going to show you is the king of Ike double dies, quote unquote. It is the double die reverse FS 801. And it's a pretty dramatic wide spread. You can't miss it. It's a pivoted double die, meaning down at 7 o'clock on the coin. Down at 7 o'clock is where the pivoting started. So the degree of doubling is very low there. But up here at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 1 o'clock, you have more spread because it's pivoted from down at the 7 o'clock range when they doubled it when they're double pressing from the working hub to the working die. And then the working die produces these coins. So this is the amazing widespread double die reverse FS 801. Now, this one, not only is it that beautiful widespread, it also is very uncommon. There are only 22 known of these, at least in these 4 third-party grading company holders. There's 16 in PCGS holders, 8 of them are Cameo, 8 of them are Deep Cameo. There's 3 NGC Ultra Cameos, and there are 3 Annex decams. That's it, 22. Now, of course, if there's crossovers and people don't report that they back to the original third-party grader that they cross it to a different company, then it remains in that prior third-party grader's population report. So it's possible that there are less than 22 of these. But if we're just adding up pop reports, it's 22 known with that distribution across 4 different third-party grading companies. Now, there's also ICG and a few of the lesser knowns that may have them. I just didn't bother searching those out, but certainly they're not going to have as many as these more reputable or more highly regarded third-party grading companies. So let's take a little bit closer look, because you look at that and you go, oh, that's really nice, widespread doubling. Well, let's take a little bit closer look. And now you're starting to see, okay, we're up here at the wingtips, and the lighting is not great, but there's a nice furrow and notching of the wingtips here. But you start seeing, oh, what's going on here on this side of the furrow, or that side of the furrow, or that side of the furrow? What's going on there? Or up here at the point of the star. So you go, maybe this was a really minor hub doubling that got really widespread. If you look at some of the other devices, look at this is star that's star 8. No, I'm star 9 right here. Star 9. Look at the little suggestion here, some furrows in here. You start seeing some suggestion that perhaps here's an E pluribus, perhaps this was really minor spread hub doubling, but when they created work from the working hub down to the working die, they ended up with two hubs that really spread the devices apart. So the FS 801 may be quadruple dyed or triple dyed, but that doesn't really matter because you have that really big widespread in the devices, particularly seen up between say 12 o'clock to 3 o'clock. And even the Earth, you look at, there's a notching here in the tip of Florida, and then down here in South America, and even some of the islands, you can see suggestions that this is more than just a widespread double dye reverse. All right, so let's take a look at some more. And this is one that Tom Calancis had the Ike Dollar double dye group, and he actually did attributions. He had an incredible website with really robust listings and photos and descriptions, but he passed and his family didn't keep the website alive, so all that information was lost. He did produce a book, but it's not nearly it was a small sampling of what his website had. But anyway, this is one that I submitted to Tom for a look, and he listed it as a first reported new quadruple and triple dye reverse. So here you can see there's here's your primary doubling, but then there's a little doubling on either side. Look down here in this part of the star, you can at least count 3. There up here in the M, you can see there's notching down here at the N. Same thing with the A. This is star 9 again. So here's another look. You look at, this is star 10. Look at that. You can count 4 here. So quadrupling there. And over here, look down this is star 11. So look at down here. There's suggestion of least tripling. So triple die, quadruple die, obverse. There, it's not a wide spread. So this, you're not going to get this attributed at PCGS or NGC, but it is still, in my mind, it's something that I would put aside, because it's a true double die, working die, a doubling, or in this case, resulting in tripling or quadrupling appearance on the coin. Here's another one that was first reported, that I submitted to Tom, and this is IDDR2, and this is a 1973 S. That the last one was a 1971 S silver proof. This one here is a clad 1973 S proof, and I'll just pause for a second. I'm showing you proofs, but I also have business strike examples. There's 1972. There's one in the Ike group we call Nightmare on Elm Street, which has at least tripling, if not quadrupling. But that's an aside. Let's get back to this 1973 S clad. Look at that. There's 3 there. There's some notching over here, notching down here on the M, the A, but you can definitely see 3 there. On this, that was star 9. And a closer look at star 9 with different lighting, you can sort of appreciate up here the major split, but then there's this one in here. So you have sort of a doubling that was wider spread, and you have a little bit of overlap on one of the hub doubled features. Here's looking at E pluribus, and in BUS you can see that plain as day with this lighting. The tripling, maybe even a little bit of quadrupling, but primarily shows up a tripling across most of these devices here. So let's look at another one. This one here, it's not attributed, it's not listed anywhere, but this is a 1973 S silver proof, and you look at the moon, and you look at the islands, and well, there's at least 4 there, a couple there. Looks like multiple furrows going up Florida here. So at least doubling to tripling in this one on the Earth. And typically when you have Earth and you see island doubling, you can also confirm that, because usually up here, the T in United, that usually will show similar doubling or tripling. In this case, you look here, there's tripling. 1, 2, 3. All right, and down here some suggestion as well. We get a little bit different lighting. 1, 2, 3. So this one is a triple die reverse that shows up with this pattern. Now, Ike doublings, we'll put that in quotes, shows up as patterns both on the obverse and reverse. There's several different patterns that show up. This pattern shows up with island doubling and the at least the T, if not also the stars near the Earth. Like, you can appreciate that this one may have tripling as well. So there's another example, and I'll give you one last example here. This is a 1971 S silver proof, and this one here is a triple die reverse showing up at the LL, and usually a pattern that shows up here with the LL in these the right side of the L in the upper left or upper right Usually also shows up in the C in America, and the lower loop of the C also has similar doubling or tripling or what have you. So that's another pattern that you frequently see. But this one here, again, 1, 2, 3. You look here off into the fields, you can sort of see suggestion that maybe even quadrupling here. And if we change the light around on that LL, and we're going to show the upper left part, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So this is a triple die reverse. This cannot happen at the working hub level. It can only happen at the working die level, as I showed you in those original graphics. They only did 2 presses, so how can you get tripling at the working hub level for 1971 S proof? You can't. So there's a few examples of some triple die, quadruple die reverse. The titles, there's a typo, it's QDO instead of QDR. And I hope that you like that. Realize that some of these, like what you're seeing here, they're nice to put aside, and they're nice to know that they are truly working die, double die reverse, quote unquote, which manifests with tripling or quadrupling. Nice to put them aside. This is not attributable by PCGS, that is, but look at the King, the FS801, and that's an example where it's just a gorgeous double die reverse, but it actually has some evidence of tripling and quadrupling, meaning there was maybe a really minor spread hub doubling at the working hub level that was then transferred into a widespread quadruple die reverse. So thank you for the question, and keep them coming, and the suggestion to do this video. Again, buy stuff you like, but be careful about what you buy. And thank you for watching. We'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.